Well, good evening, everyone, and a very warm welcome from right here at the heart of Ferrari Esports in Italy. It is time to get yourself comfortable, put your feet up, and get ready for another great show that is about to unfold right before your very eyes. Now, first and foremost, anyone new or returning to the Ferrari Velas Esports series, it is wonderful to see you joining us tonight. Thank you so much, and we cannot wait to introduce you to the world of top-level virtual motorsports in those famous colours of Ferrari. It's an absolute privilege to be wearing the prancing horse. My name is Nikki Shields, and it's a pleasure to help you navigate your way through the excitement of this competition over the course of the next hour or so of drama. But I can't do this alone. So as well as all the boys and girls behind the scenes, I'm delighted to say that joining me on stage tonight is our very own Mr. Paul Jeffrey.
Hello. Thanks very much, Nikki. Hello, and hello to everybody at home. Just to echo those wonderful opening words, it's fantastic once again to be back in the Ferrari Esports studio, and I'm very much looking forward to the next hour or so of competition that we've got going. But Nikki, you know what's better than two people on stage?
No, what is better than two people on stage?
Three people on stage sounds like a plan to me, and that means we need another very special guest.
Excellent, that is what we like to hear. So we do have a special guest joining us today. So let's give a huge round of applause and a very warm welcome. She's a Ferrari Driver Academy driver. She's part of the Formula Ford Championship. Let's welcome Maya Weug.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. Good to see you.
Hi.
Did I completely ruin your name there, Maya?
No, it was okay. Well, one of the best.
I need to sort of help with my Dutch pronunciation.
Yeah.
How are you?
Very good, thank you. It's nice to be here in Italy, so yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've had you on the Ferrari Esports series shows. What have you been up to recently since we last saw you? Anything exciting, any dramas been happening on the racetrack?
Well, I mean, I've been on the track. I've done my second season in Formula 4. Still 3 races to go this year. But yeah, it's been my second season so far, and it's been much better than the first one, so that's good. And also training a lot in Ferrari Driver Academy and spending a lot of time in Italy, so that's really cool.
You're a real trailblazer as well for women in motorsport. You know, seeing what you do on track, it's just brilliant for so many girls all around the world. How do you carry that pressure?
I mean, there's always a lot of pressure when you're on track and when you're racing, of course. But being the first girl in the Ferrari Driver Academy is amazing. And I'm not the only one right now. There's also Laura, and I hope there's much more coming. So yeah, that's really good.
So can you tell us a little bit about what it's like to be part of the Ferrari Driver Academy and the kind of things that you experience and benefits you get from that program?
Well, we do a lot. Well, basically we go to the gym every day, so we're fit enough to drive because it's quite tough physically. But then we do mental training, we do Italian lessons, we have technical training as well, so we learn a lot of stuff there, and we're there every day. So we just improve every day when we're there, and we also are there with all the drivers of the academy, so we also have fun, but we push each other as well a lot.
Italian lessons, Nikki.
I was just about to say, so me and Paul have been saying we really need to learn a bit of Italian. Can you teach us a phrase? Make us look good.
Yeah, so let's say buona fortuna is good luck.
Buona fortuna. Okay. I'm not very good. Come on, Paul.
I'm not trying that one. I'm from Yorkshire.
Buona fortuna?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Or in bocca al lupo, which is...
I can see all the comments in the stream now going, oh, what's she doing? That's a terrible British pronunciation. Yeah. Well, thank you, Maya, for joining us once again. We can't wait to get your insights over the course of this show. And apologies for completely ruining the pronunciation of good luck in Italian. See, I'm 2 chicken dreams there again. But now let's take a look back at what has happened in the series so far. There's been plenty of action. Paul, over to you.
Race 1 at the Nürburgring would be won by Jonathan Riley ahead of Ivan Shermatinsky and Leonardo Pagano. For race 2, we went to the Laguna Seca circuit, and it was Taurus Gorovincius who took the victory from Michael Tanitsa and Nicola Puntola, rounding out the drivers that qualified for the next stage. Race 3 was held at Zandvoort, and Michael Romagnoli took the victory ahead of Antonio Fedale and Marcian Swiderich in third place. And the final round headed to the Monza Grand Prix circuit. Wojciech Lukaszek was our race winner from Adrian Cott, and Sandro Tavakaladze was the third and final qualifier of the qualification races.
Well, thank you, Paul. Plenty of big name star drivers who have already made it through to the next stages of the competition. However, we have plenty more racing to do before the big grand finale later this year. So let's have a quick look at what our potential future Scuderia Ferrari Velas Esports team drivers need to do to achieve that place in the final showdown.
Welcome to the Ferrari Velas Esports Series 2022 Championship Format Explanation. This year, the Esports Series will take place on 2 continents, Europe and North America. But that is not the only news. This year, the championship is also divided between Assetto Corsa and Assetto Corsa Competizione, and the cars will be the Ferrari 488 Challenge Evo and the Ferrari 488 GT3 Evo 2020. So let's see in more detail the structure of the championship. In order to take part, drivers will participate in hot lap competitions across 8 unique circuits within both Assetto Corsa or Assetto Corsa Competizione, with the top 24 times of each qualifier progressing into a dedicated race to decide the top 3 finishers, giving these drivers the opportunity to progress to the regional finals, whereupon the 24 regional finalists will race for the podium positions in both simulations and a place in the grand final. The same process will be undertaken for both North American and European drivers, with the top 3 from each region set to fight it out for overall championship honours. Mixing things up yet further, the grand final will feature a new and unique sporting format, not seen before in the Ferrari Velas Esports Series, with all competing drivers set to travel to Italy for a winner-takes-all on-site activation.
Okay, not long left to go now before we take a look at the highlights from our most recent races. But before we do, what's that I hear you say? Another star guest? Well, last time out, we heard from the one and only Carlos Sainz. So I suppose it's only fair that we give his teammates the opportunity to come and say a big hello to you. So earlier on, Charles Leclerc had a few words to say with our very own Paul Jeffrey.
Charles, good afternoon and thank you very much for joining us again in the second ever Ferrari Velas Esports Series broadcast. Great to see you with us. How are you? What have you been up to? And have you been enjoying the racing out on the track?
I'm really good, thank you. Yeah, it is very impressive to see so many drivers close to each other. You can really see that the level is really high this season. So it's amazing to see, and I hope well, the best one will win, and we'll have many more fun races to watch.
Yeah, it's been great so far this season, and it seems like our drivers are hungrier than ever to get into the final. My question to you is, have you seen anybody that you've been particularly impressed with at this point?
I mean, it's really difficult to say because everyone seems so close and the championship is still very long. So it will all be about consistency and the least mistake possible. But yeah, to pinpoint someone is very difficult at this stage.
Now, interestingly, we're using Assetto Corsa and Assetto Corsa Competizione for the Ferrari Velas Esports Series this season. Do you think this is going to impact how the drivers approach the championship at all?
Well, for sure it will. I've been doing a little bit of sim racing and I know how every little tips can make a big difference. So I guess the training will be twice as much, which already was huge before. So a lot of work ahead of them, and yeah, it might, maybe some drivers will adapt better to one to Assetto Corsa instead of Assetto Corsa Competizione. So it will be very interesting to see.
Now, one final question from me, I suppose, to end this interview on. Do you have any tips or advice that you can give to our drivers ahead of these races?
Thank you, Paul. Well, always have fun and don't do too many mistakes, and it will go all well. Thank you, and good luck for the rest of the championship.
Superb. Thank you very much, Charles. Ciao.
What an honour to hear from Charles Leclerc there. We wish him all the best for the rest of the season. Put some more points on the board for Ferrari, as he's done so well so far this season. Now, if you are looking to eke out the extra 10th, the extra 100th out of every lap you're trying to do, you want to create the perfect lap, well, we've got some tips and tricks for you. Go to the Ferrari YouTube channel, Ferrari 101. There's a whole range of videos there. And today's video is from David Tanitsa. He, of course, is one of the original Ferrari Esports drivers who joined back in 2019. And his tip for today is traction control. Let's have a watch.
Hi everybody and welcome to the Ferrari 101 tips and tricks. Hi guys, I'm David Tonizza and welcome back. Today we will analyze the traction control. Traction control and managing the throttle is something personal, but it also depends on the conditions of the track. If you're smooth on the throttle, it's better to use a low TC, and in the quali, to make the best possible lap, it's essential to use the lowest TC setting possible so that you can push the car to the absolute limit. But if the track is lacking of grip, your tires are gone or it's raining, a higher TC value is the perfect solution to avoid oversteer and spinning. If you are a driver like me who smashes the throttle pedal, you're surely going to use a higher TC value. Instead, if you prefer to control the throttle by yourself, you're going to do the opposite. Meanwhile, if you just want to have fun, disabling it is mandatory. Assetto Corsa Competizione allows you to control, adjust and modify this parameter the way you prefer, with the possibility of controlling how much the car has to intervene. From the control panel, it's possible to change these settings. And meanwhile you are driving, it is also possible to switch them from the steering wheel so that you can change them in every possible situation, especially if the rain comes. Now, let's jump on the sim and test it. Let's set the traction control to maximum. So as you can see, both in the game and from the steering wheel, the car becomes very predictable, so it's very easy to drive, especially coming out from the corner. We can really smash the throttle and nothing will happen. So it's clear that the car will be slightly slower, so we will not have any risk, but of course the lap times will not be that fast. So it's not the ideal setting if we want to find a very fast lap. On the other hand, if we put the TC to the minimum value, the car will become very sketchy and oversteer coming out from the corners. So if we have a good control of the throttle pedal, that's fine. We can find some lap time, and of course during a qualifying we will be the fastest guys. But as you can see here, already a snap of oversteer, so you have to be very skilled and you have to prepare a lot during your training session to reach this control of the car. So now let's test the TC on the grass, because of course if you are going to smash the throttle pedal when you are in the grass, of course the car will have a very bad reaction also here in the gravel, because of course as you can see the rear tires have too much power. So if you put the TC with a higher value, of course you're not going to spin or anything. So let's say you will save the car, but you will be slower. Traction control can help you by controlling the car, but at the same time, if you exaggerate, it can also put you into the wall. So now it's your time to test it yourself and have some training with my tips. And as always, see you guys in the next episode.
So I guess the next question we need to be asking ourselves tonight is, what tracks are we racing on? Pretty critical for the competition. And also, what are the challenges that are going to face our racing hopefuls in the heat of the battles this evening. Well, so first up is a track I absolutely love, the classic Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya, which stands firm as a truly great test of driver and machine. It's a long-standing Grade 1 FIA track. It's based in the very heart of Spain, and I think Barcelona is a track that really offers an exciting, dramatic race. There are plenty of technical challenges for our drivers to get their teeth into. Now, it's used extensively at the moment for testing purposes, thanks to that healthy mix of traditional heavy braking zones and then the slow grip limited turns. I think Barcelona is almost certain to produce exceptional racing from our Ferrari Velas Esports series drivers. Now, next up on the list, we travelled all the way across to the United States of America, and it's a brand new track to both the Ferrari Velas Esports Series and ACC. It is, of course, the Circuit of the Americas. Now, thanks to only recently having arrived in the ACC, COTA is something of an unknown for our drivers this evening, bit of a level playing field for them. One of the more recent circuits built in the world of international racing. Now, this is a track that combines multiple corner types and combinations with that healthy mix of incredibly fast sections, difficult interlinking corners, and some really heavy braking zones. So this is a perfect combination for guaranteed action. Can't wait for that one. So next on the list is a true racing classic, the Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps. Now, it's a venue universally loved by fans and drivers alike all around the world, and it is world famous for its turn Eau Rouge and also Raidillon, which is side by side. Plenty of heavy braking zones and technical sections marking this out as one of the best racing venues in world motorsport. It really compromises the golden combination of fast and committed corners mixed with the wild undulations, which is just everything about Spa just screams drama and excitement. Now, for this race, our drivers are going to no doubt thoroughly understand all the tricks of getting most lap time from this circuit, so expect racing here to be exceptionally close. Cannot wait for that one. And last but not least, it's the famous Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It's here, but in road form, of course. Another new circuit to ACC, and with it the Ferrari Velas Esports Series. Indianapolis will once again present a new and rather interesting challenge for our drivers tonight. What it offers the drivers is a little bit of every type of corner and situation over the course of the lap. You've got the flat out blast on the oval banking and down into turn one, then multiple line options through several of the corners. Overall, Indy is a real racer's circuit, and it promises to produce some exceptional racing action. So wow, so much to look forward to, and not long before racing gets underway.
And here we go then, the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya for the first of our 4 races this evening. And Nikki, back in the commentary box with me. It's been a while.
It has been a while. It's so good to be back. I'm sorry though, I am replacing Brendan Lee because he is busying himself preparing for the season ahead.
Yeah, big shout out to Brendan if he's watching at home. It's we miss you, buddy. Looking forward to seeing you again in a future show. But let's get down to the nitty-gritty of what we're about to undertake. Race 1 of 4. This is our last chance, and these are the drivers, Nikki. Love to take part.
Yeah, let's take a look at the entry list today. So we're starting off with Leonardo Dalcamo, a familiar name in the Ferrari Esports Series. He is from Italy. We've got another Italian there, Davide Adami, and Dominic Ullman from Poland. 24 names competing in today's race. You can see there a good selection from Europeans.
Yeah, and it's nice to see, Nikki, that there's 1 or 2 drivers there that are brand spanking new to the Ferrari Velas Esports Series, including the man that is on pole position, Dario Emulo. Is our pole position man. The first time we've seen Dario racing in the Ferrari Velas Esports Series. Leonardo Dalcamo keeping him company in second position, just ahead of Dominic Ullman and Jurika Slovenak. 3 names that will be very, very familiar to fans of the championship, as well as Davide Adami and Daniele Passardi rounding out our top 6. And Nikki, these drivers, they're fighting for a top 3 finish.
There's so much at stake here. I mean, this is hugely competitive. This is when you cannot crack under pressure. What's interesting, though, well, over to you for the start of this race.
So here we go, revs rise, the red lights at the top of your screen will go green now, and all the field are away for the run down into T1 of the Circuit de Barcelona. Catalunya, Dario Amula is the man on pole position in the red machine. Dominic Ullmann, you can see, making a good start from third on the grid. Everybody fans out now, trying to find a little bit of real estate into T1. Got to be cautious on the brakes. The tyres are incredibly cold at this stage in proceedings. Ullmann holding on to third, dropping down into fourth position, swapping positions with Davide Adami, but just about holds on further down the running order. A couple of our drivers in strife. Eureka Slovenak up in a fourth position, but it is our pole position man, Dario Almula, still in an early race lead as Ullmann in the yellow machine on screen now comes under pressure from Eureka Slovenak. Slovenak keeps the car tight. Can he find enough racing room? And Nicky, just as we come to expect in the Ferrari Velas series, drama all the way through the field.
What a fantastic start to the race. Nice and clean. I mean, dramatic, plenty of wheel-to-wheel action there, but good to see them all through the first lap unscathed. I mean, fantastic start there from Amulo, but it's Dalcamo as well, right on his tail. 4 tenths behind him. There's going to be a serious battle on his hands. Ullmann's dropped back a little bit there, 1.7 seconds, and somebody's off there in the gravel. Huge crash there.
Yeah, that is Davide Adami that we saw there. Qualified 5th on the grid, did Adami, but unfortunately contact with one of his rivals on the opening lap. That has run him very much out of contention for a solid result, and further drama down the order. That's Josh Martin in a little bit of strife. Somebody else returning to the racetrack as well, but Josh Martin fielding the number 78 car that you see on your screen now, getting involved in a little bit of drama, and there's the 31 at the back of our shot as well, losing out. So many drivers really finding the pressure, the drama of an opening lap on cold tyres, heavy on fuel. One opportunity, Nicky, to get this result, and a few people have already fallen foul.
Yeah, and also let's not forget, this is a really challenging, it's a dramatic technical circuit, plenty of heavy braking zones, so these guys really have their work cut out today.
Yeah, really good opening lap then at the front of the field. Further down the running order, we can see there's a bit of drama in the lower reaches of the top 10. 26 minutes on the clock. These are the highlights, of course, from this race, so we'll keep you appraised as we split 2 different sections of the race. But in the opening few stages of this event, it is Dario Amulo that's still our race leader from Leonardo Dalcamo. Dominic Ullmann in third position. So as you were from qualification, Eureka Slovenak as well. We've been looking on our screen now, more contact further down the running order. That is the number 65, which is Marion Godelje, dropping the ball. A little bit of contact there. Josh Martin, unfortunately, has just registered a DNF, so Martin out of the running. That moves up everybody 1 position further down the order.
He's going to be absolutely gutted. Real disappointment there for Josh Martin. As we were saying earlier, this is when it all counts. This is when you don't want to crack under pressure. But, you know, these are some of the most competitive esports drivers out there. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy to pass. And we can start to see, you know, the top 5, I think, are starting to pull away from the rest of the pack.
Oh, Paparusso, sorry to interrupt you there, Nicky, but Luca Paparusso trying to make an overtake on the inside. Not quite enough racing room for Luca. He does well to gather the car back together again, but Paparusso now drops down in a 13th position. So difficult times there for Luca Paparusso as we look back at Davide Adami that we saw in a bit of drama at the opening stages, but he's running and currently holding on to 10th position with 19 minutes now left on the clock.
Wow, there's so much excitement going on in this race, and only plenty more coming our way. Amulo is just having an absolutely solid race. He's clearly getting a little bit of pressure from Dalcamo behind him, just 2 seconds behind. But, you know, there is still 20 minutes of this race to go. So much to play for. Remember, it's just the top 3 that get through to the regional finals.
Yep, absolutely. So they're the key positions, but a driver that's having a good run so far with 19 minutes. We see one of our drivers running very wide. That is Benini, I think it is. Just comes back onto the racetrack, makes contact with one of his rivals as well. Very dangerous rejoin there. That gives an opportunity for the man that I was just about to talk to, and that is Falco, that qualified all the way down in 14th position, but now runs 5th on the racetrack. So a good recovery drive from Shelley Falco as Leonardo Dalcamo sets the fastest lap of the race. So second position starting to make a charge for those in front. As now we've got not one, not two, not three, but 4 cars fighting for position. Andrea Benini on the inside doesn't have enough of an overlap, so he'll hold on, slip back in behind the bike of Adami ahead. And this is another one where damage on the car, Nikki, but still fighting hard for positions.
Yeah, there's very much 2 races going on at the moment, isn't there? You've got the leading pack, those top 4 drivers. Then there's a 15-second gap between the rest. There's a real breakaway pack. And as we said, it's just the top 3 drivers. So unless anything dramatic happens, which is always possible in this sport, of course, I think we really just need to pay attention to the top 4 drivers, because one of them is not going to be going through to the finals.
Yep, and as you were speaking there, Nicky, that was Pedro Figueras that got pushed out of the racetrack. So Figueras still on the track in 14th place and last of our drivers in the running. But a bit of drama there, Clement Lorez just getting the car spirally on acceleration. That opens the door for Andreassi as well to look around the outside. Does he have space? Can he hold track position? Yes, he can. Good drive there from Andreassi, but just does not quite get the launch off of the corner. Has to slip back in again behind Lorez in 12th place. So good fighting outside the reaches of the top 10 as we head into the final portion of this race. And Dalcamo, that we suggested was on a charge earlier on, has now been broken. 1.8 seconds to the gunners once again side by side, and that is the 61 of Clement Lorez. Just about holds on position, but Andreassi fancies his chances again, sneaks the car to the inside, runs his rival Clement Lorez out wide, but not quite enough of an overlap. And these guys absolutely are giving it their all, Nikki.
Yeah, they're definitely not giving up, which is a difficult position to be in when you're sitting down in 12th and 13th and know you need to qualify in the top 3. But as we said, there is still everything to play for. There is a massive challenge on their hands, so to speak. But the guys at the front, they're just having an absolutely phenomenal drive. They've broken away. Really, Emulo is just sitting back. Well, I'm going to say sitting back, feeling relaxed. He's probably not feeling that relaxed right now. But these two going side by side. Francesco Andresi there showing that he's not going to give up without a battle.
Absolutely not. Really hammer and tongs for this fight over in 12th and 13th position. But while these two are squabbling away, that allows Figueras to get into the conversation as well as Andresi makes contact with the rear of the number 61. That pushes Lorez out on the wide, as does in sympathy I can't quite make out the number on the car, but I think that is Andresi as well. So both drivers held up. Figueras finds a nice open door, decides to walk through it and moves on up the running order. So that is Figueras now in 12th position. Lorez holding on to 13th and Andresi recovering at the back of the field.
Wow, so much action going on in the course of this race. Coming down to just 9 minutes left on the clock, but still so much to play for. I mean, some fantastic prizes really at stake to become part of the Ferrari, the Scuderia Ferrari Esports team. I mean, does it get better than that?
Absolutely not. And somebody that's really keen is Luca Paparusso that we're looking on screen now. Showed his nose nice and early to the inside of Benini and then gets the job done at the second part of the corner. Benini has absolutely nothing that he can respond with in that move, but do not take your eyes away from the car in 9th position. It is very hungry in the final 2 minutes of this race to retake that 8th position, as here we see now the final lap, the final portion of the lap, and Dario Emulo from pole position dominates the race at the front of the field and becomes the first winner of the day and qualifies alongside Leonardo Dalcamo and Dominic Ullmann are your top 3 from race 1 at the Nürburgring. Those 3 drivers secure the golden ticket to get into the regional finals as they look to progress forward and earn a place at the Scuderia Ferrari Velas Esports team. And there are our qualified drivers, Nikki.
Wow, what a fantastic start to today's racing, race 5 in Barcelona. Huge congratulations to the top 3.
And here we are, race 6, the second race of the evening, and a brand new circuit to Assetto Corsa Competizione, the circuit of the Americas, COTA as it's more commonly known. This one, Nikki, is a massive challenge for our drivers, and we're running the Assetto Corsa Competizione sim as well. So a new sim, a new track and a new car.
Yeah, which is just brilliant because it suddenly puts all the drivers on a level playing field. You know, no one has more experience than others, and this is a track that just combines multiple corner types and combinations. It's going to be a really, really exciting one, that's for sure. Yeah, super excited about it.
Yep, and the Ferrari 488 GT3 Evo 2022 is the car of choice for this event.
So here we are. These are the drivers, the entry list for race 6. Hugo Merlis from France. Again, you can see the selection of where all the drivers have come from. We've got Fraser Rostans from the United Kingdom driving down in 18th. And right, that's it. I think racing is about to get underway.
Yep, so this is your grid for race 2 of the evening, race 6 of the competition. Hugo Merlis from France is our pole position man with a 2 minutes 5 seconds, 0.027 lap time, just ahead of Federico Pedrini, another name that you will recognise from former Ferrari Esports Series competition. Philip Slasky in 3rd position, ahead of Alessandro Venturi, lining up at the second portion of the second row of the grid. In 5th place is Lois Reyna, and in 6th position, car number 15, is Sorian Jaeger. Again, all these cars are the 488 GT3 Evo 2020, so it's an even playing field for all our drivers. 7th position is Luca Balcone. In position 8 is Simone Casicaro. In 9th is Andrea Cerrucci, and in 10th place is Michael Herman Free. Running further down the order, we've got 24 cars registered for the event. 16 have made it through the actual qualification competition, so we'll quickly run down the final few cars. Adrian Drizdzic in 11th place, Francesco Foresti in 12th, Stefano Ciangola in 13th, Alessandro Landolfi in position 14th. In 15th is Fraser Rostans, and the last driver to qualify 2.825 seconds away from the pole position is Murid Husionovic. I can't pronounce that one. I'm sorry, I'll leave that to you, Nikki.
Well, I mean, you did all the others perfectly, so good on you. Well done. You must be exhausted. Only 18 seconds for you to have a break before the start of this race. But what's really interesting is looking at the qualifying results to get into this race. The top 9 were separated by less than a second. So I think this is going to be a really, really competitive race.
It absolutely is, and the interesting thing about the circuit of the Americas, of course, is there are a lot of very big braking zones on this track, preceded by very long straights indeed. So slipstream will be the order of the day. The drivers will start to a rolling start, unlike the standing starts that we see in the original Assetto Corsa software. So again, it's all about new things, Nikki, isn't it, for the drivers to undertake?
Yeah, and there's a huge amount of challenges, I think, when it comes to any form of new track, new competition. And actually, when we go, the finalists of this goes into the regional finals, which also has a new format. So lots to get for the drivers to get their head round. And if anyone is watching and wants to improve on their own times, then we do have on the Ferrari YouTube channel the Ferrari 101 tips and tricks. But the racing is about to get started.
Yep, here we go then. So rolling start as we come through the final corner. The charge uphill into the difficult first gear left-hander awaits these 16 drivers. Hugo Merlis is the man on pole position from Federico Pedrini. That's car number 4 and car number 14. Keep your eye out on your screen to see how our front row starters managed to fare on the run into lap 1. So difficult on this opening lap, so many chances to be passed. Let's get ready to go racing for the second race of the evening. A good start by all concerned. Merlis on the inside. To the outside is Pedrini. Will fancy his chances in that position. Snatch of a break further down the running order, but everybody on very best behaviour, staying within the confines of the racetrack. No obvious contact amongst our 14 drivers in the field. 16 drivers, my apologies. And there we see Philip Slasky in 3rd position. So a good start from Slasky, just holding position but putting under significant pressure. Pedrini ahead of him, while Merlis pushing, already gapping the field.
Wow, what a brilliant start. And I just absolutely love this track. Look at the view. So many long, sweeping corners. This is going to be a really, really competitive race. But it's fantastic to see that Hugo Merlis has managed to hold on to his pole position.
Yeah, good start from Hugo there in the opening few corners. Again, everybody needs to be a little bit careful. The cars will be at their absolute coldest at this stage in the race, heaviest with fuel as well, so maybe the braking distances are slightly different than what you're used to at this stage. And let's have a quick look now in second and third position. Pedrini versus Slasky. Slasky gets the slipstream of the black Ferrari ahead, but doesn't have enough of an overlap at this stage. However, Slasky will drop back, will drop into position, just lining the car up for a move further down the running order. Carucci, that we're looking now to the inside as well, puts himself in the danger zone, manages to make him way past number 65. That is Venturi that loses a position, so Venturi dropping down into 9th place, Carucci dropping up into position 8, and this is Philippe Slasky that we're looking at once again. Did not manage to make an overtake, but he signalled his intent to Pedrini ahead. This is going to be a fight that carries on, Nikki, I'm sure.
Yeah, already going to wheel to wheel, side by side, plenty of action, lots to look forward to, which is what we promised. There's always plenty of drama in the Ferrari Velas Esports series, that's for sure, and that is why we love it. 28 minutes still to go, and it's Merles who is managing to create already a 2-second gap ahead of him and Pedrini. Slasky, though, not far behind. These guys are going to be fantastic to watch over the course of the next 26 minutes.
Yeah, side by side, Pedrini doing everything he possibly can to try and hold on to that second position. Remember, these need to finish on the podium in order to qualify, but Pedrini defending like a champion, and that allows Jaeger in 4th position. But Pedrini, as I speak, runs wide out onto the gravel, does well to get the car quickly back onto the racetrack. Slasky does a good job as well to give him the room in order to safely return to the racetrack. But now Jaeger and Rainier as well both fancy their chances of having a look up the inside. This is very tense moments at this stage in the race.
And it just shows, doesn't it? One tiny slip up, one little mistake, one, you're not paying quite the attention that you should be, and look what can happen. That can cost you a position in the regional finals, and those top 3 drivers are the only ones that will go through into the regional finals today, so it's absolutely critical that they stay focused.
And look at this now for the run down into T1. Jaeger closes the door very late indeed. That gives him no room to Ragnier behind, so great driving there from Soren Ray Jaeger in the number 15 machine. Very aggressive on the defensive, but just about manages to hold on to that 4th position. Remember, as Nicky just said, you need to be in the top 3, so this moment in time, Jaeger is the man on the bubble, the man that will not make it through to the next stage. Further down the running order, another fight. T1, a good overtaking opportunity, but Murad not quite close enough to get the deal done. And Venturi, not sure what happened there, but earlier on was running a little bit higher as once again Slasky tries to find his way up. And Nicky, this is going to be the key moment. Keep the car to the inside, try and match him on the braking, hit that apex, and that'll be job done, I think, for Philip Slasky.
I can't watch. Let's see if both cars stay on track. Who's going to get through?
Yeah, door to door. This is the
Very
beauty of GT
nice.
racing as well. A little bit of rub in his racing, never hurt anybody. And Pedrini holds on.
Very good, very good. Federico Pedrini there. Started on the front row of the grid in P2, manages to hold off Slasky. And yeah, these two are just fantastic to watch.
Yeah, they're really providing some great entertainment for everybody at home. So Pedrini and Slasky both still currently trying to fight over that 2nd and 3rd position. Jaeger and Ragnier that we're looking at now. So this is Lois Ragnier in 4th position that we're looking back at Balconi. So Balconi now brought himself into this fight thanks to the squabbling earlier in the race. Balconi now brings himself really into contention, goes alongside, gets the overlap coming into the braking zone, and has the inside line. So this should be a done deal for Balconi, but Rainier's not giving up on the outside further up the running order. Andrea Carucci in 8th position, going too wide with a similar liveried Ferrari 488 GT3 Evo, too wide as they go through the corner. Great respect from both drivers. As soon as I say that, they decide to have a little kiss and a cuddle, and that unfortunately ends in somebody facing the wrong direction.
Huge disappointment there for one of the drivers. Got the better of him, unfortunately, but that is racing, I suppose, at the end of the day.
Yep, absolutely. We're looking now at Michael Herman Frey in the number 17 machine. 9th will almost immediately become 8th, and he runs incredibly deep into the corner. Thank you very much. I will take that position back, and that is 1 gained and 1 lost, all in the same move from Michael Herman Frey with 17 minutes 50 seconds left on the clock.
And remember what's at stake here. Not only have you got to be in the top 3 to get through to the regional finals. Everyone is vying for their chance to join the Scuderia Ferrari Esports Drive Academy. I mean, what an incredible, prestigious prize that can be. You know, everyone wants to wear the prancing horse, right?
Yeah, it's a career-defining opportunity for all of these drivers. And even if you don't make it through, even if you're not in that top 3 or you don't qualify for the regionals, this is great experience for all our drivers. But now the clock has hit 0 and this man, 7.2 seconds to the good. Hugo Mills qualified on pole position, got the job done for the run down into T1 and has been on dominant form from this period. The second race of the day, Hugo Mills, race number 6 of the Ferrari Velas Esports Series, takes the checkered flag and with it secures his spot in the next round of the competition. Federico Pedrini had an incredible race under significant pressure but secures second position and the bottom step of the podium to this man, Philip Slaski, in third place. And they are our 3 qualified drivers. And that, Nikki, was a very fine race indeed.
It was indeed. Huge congratulations there to Hugo Merles. An absolutely faultless drive. And to Pedrini and Slaski, who will be joining them in the regional finals.
So now we immediately move over to the next race of the evening. Again, back to Assetto Corsa. This time, once again, the Ferrari 488 GT3 Evo 2020 on the circuit of Spa-Francorchamps. Not really much more needs saying about Spa, does there?
Well, maybe just 2 words. Eau Rouge.
Yeah.
Greatest corner on the planet.
Yeah, a superb racetrack. Always produces incredible racing. Loved by quite literally everyone that has ever raced on this circuit. And because it's such a mainstay in the world of sim racing and motorsport, all our drivers know it very well indeed, don't they?
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be interesting to see how the times are a bit closer together because they have had a huge amount of experience here. I mean, if we do look at the qualifying results, again, the top 10 are split by 1 second.
Yep, this is the entry list, Nikki, so 1 or 2 known names there.
Okay, so it's the top 17 who are going through to the race. Christian Carrera from Spain is going to be... No, it's not. It is Ege Altinel who's going to be on pole position, and Alessandro Migarilla will be lining up alongside him on the front row.
Yep, so again, very tight qualification, 0.3 of a second covering our top 5, and it is Altinel pole position, Alessandro Miraglia on second, Une Cabo in position 3, Umberto Principe in 4th, another name that you will recognise from the Ferrari Velas Esports Series, Alessandri Borrade in 5th place, and Maurice Stryker. Maurice Stryker again, one of those drivers that is always full of drama and excitement, so I recommend you keep your eye on the number 25 in a few short seconds time when we go green for this, the next race, the penultimate race of the evening. Highlights here from Spa-Francorchamps, 17 cars lining up on the grid. The sunshine is out, which is unusual for Spa, maybe don't recognise it when it's sunny, and let's have a look, top of your screen, there are the lights, they're about to go on. When all of those lights go red, they will disappear and the cars will accelerate for the dangerous run down into the La Source hairpin for the first time. Altinel on pole position, Miraglia in second place. Who gets the better of the 2 starts? Altinel in the 23, 17 is the Italian driver of Alessandro Miraglia. Will run down into La Source for the very first time, sweeping over the front does Altinel. Very dangerous driving there. There's a bit of contact further down the running order as well, but pretty much, Nikki, everybody gets a good run out of the corner on the run up into Eau Rouge, and Cabo is now up in the second position.
Yeah, that was a brilliant start from Unai Cabo. Some brilliant wheel-to-wheel action between him and Altinel. I think there's going to be a good battle between those two on their hands. Jaeger there up into 5th position. Ostrek also managed to move up into 10th.
So here we go then, we're running down Le Combe, into Le Combe for the very first time. Umberto Principe is the meat in a Ferrari sandwich, inevitable contact. One of the cars running out there onto the runoff area, that is Principe as well, I think it is, running a little bit slow further down the running order. I said at the top of the show, keep your eye out for Maurice Stryker, started 6th, already up in the 3rd position, so big win for Maurice Stryker. As we're looking now, Umberto Principe was indeed that car that's going slow, and now Ramone is the next man up the road, so Principe got a lot of work to do if he wants to get himself in that top 3 position.
Oh, watch out. Ramoni and Striker are coming for you, Altonel. But that was a brilliant start, brilliant opening lap from those guys, managing to move up the order. But Cabo, again, putting in a solid start. He just now needs to maintain his track position. It's the top 3 that get through to those regional finals. So as long as you're on that podium celebration, then you can relax, you can stay calm. But you can't stay calm for another 28 minutes and 15 seconds.
Yeah, and we're just seeing off camera that Papanastos has dropped down the running order, so he's in 15th place now, so a little mistake there for Papanastos. 15th place, that moves up Duffy, Vidal and Artole further up the running order to just on the outside of the top 10. Meanwhile, at the front of the field, 0.8 of a second covers Altonel and Cabo in second. Maurice Striker within striking distance in third position, and Miragalia just holding station at this moment in fourth, trying to ascertain exactly where the opportunities lie to leverage himself in to that podium spot.
Well, just as we predicted from looking at the qualifying results, this is going to be an incredibly tight race. You know, really, if you're looking at the timings, there's only really a gap between Panapsus down in 14th compared to the rest of the leading pack.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we've come to expect from the Spa-Francorchamps circuit, as there is Benjamin Ostrecht in strife as well, the number 37 on the exit of, I think that is that Piff Path? I'm not quite sure, or Lecom. So Benjamin Ostrecht, unfortunately, has to get himself back on the racetrack, and that drops him all the way down the running order. Bardet and Duffy in pit lane, so I think they're going to be saying goodbye for the evening as well. But Miraglia in second place, Nikki. This is turning into a 3-way ding-dong at the front of the field.
Well, you predicted it. Striker there is right up. We qualified 6th, and now he's in 3rd and just closing in lap by lap. So, yeah, Miraglia really needs to form a bit of a gap between himself and Striker behind.
Yeah, and these three, Maurice Striker and Alessandro Miraglia, are two drivers that we know very, very well indeed. But the man who's new to this fight is the man that we're looking at now, Yune Cabo, coming down into La Source, puts the car to the inside. Small contact, nothing to worry about between those two drivers. But as Altonel takes the fastest lap of the race, but it's down in 9th position, so quite what happened to Altonel, I'm not sure. But Miraglia is now our race leader from Cabo and Striker.
This is incredibly tight, and yet there is still 22 minutes to go. How this is going to end, I have absolutely no idea. Potentially, these top three, if they can just stay together, don't do anything silly, don't push each other off, almost work together, then they will all be through. But I guess, what am I talking about? Racing drivers, they don't want to finish there, they want to win the race.
And in perfect comedy timing, when you were saying just stay nice and calm, we see Maurice Striker come storming in to the braking zone at the top of the hill, and does well actually to avoid taking out the cars in front of them. But big shout out to Yune Cabo in second position, a name that we don't recognise from previous competition here in Ferrari Esports, holding his own very nicely indeed in second position, and it is up to Maurice Striker to do something about the two cars ahead. Bit further down the running order, Marcus Jaeger in 6th position, looking for a way past the number 23 ahead of him. Can Jaeger find a way past? In fact, that is Altonel. We spoke about him earlier. 10 minutes further up, he's in 6th place, so a good recovery from Altonel, but maybe, Nicky, I don't think quite enough to get the job done.
It's such a shame. And let's also not forget the amount of hours that these guys have put in to come here and perform like this under pressure. It is phenomenal. The commitment to the Ferrari Esports Series has just been absolutely phenomenal to see. And we do have to say a massive thank you to all the fans and everyone, all the drivers out there who have, tried to get through to the qualifying stages. But as we know, as we're seeing right now, it is unbelievably competitive. Every year we come back and the competition just gets stronger. It gets tougher, but it is all worth it, putting in the extra hours, because you could then win that coveted prize, of course, to become part of the esports team, the Scuderia Ferrari esports team, and what a prize that would be.
Yeah, absolutely. absolutely. All these drivers are looking for a career-defining moment, or even just to forge a career in the world of virtual racing. And Marcus Jaeger now putting on a great show. Just behind Jaeger, that is Azizi, trying every single way to find his way past that number 11 car. But Marcus, good defending in this stage, keeping things nice and neat, not letting the pressure get to him. But Azizi now trying to force the issue of the run down into P1, a very difficult corner to overtake, but there's Azizi at the inside, gets the job done. Jaeger gives him racing room. Jaeger on the optimal racing line, but does he have enough on corner exit for the run down into the chicane? Yes, he does, and that is some sensational racing from these two.
Wow, absolutely phenomenal. And again, you know, that just goes to show these guys are such experts in their field. Some proper good, clean wheel-to-wheel racing.
Yeah, superb stuff from everybody on the field. 7 minutes left on the clock for race 7 here at Spa-Francorchamps. Zupek we're seeing first off now in 9th position, so a very quiet drive from this man up into the top 10, just ahead of Vidal behind, but not enough to get the job done. Meanwhile, at the front of the field, Alessandro Miraglia, still leads from Cabo and Striker, and Romanini doing everything he can, but not quite enough at this stage to get that top 3.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Can Federico Ramoni, make up the extra time there and join Striker there in P3? It's possible.
Yeah, anything is possible while there's still some racing to go. Kilian Vidal loses it on braking into the bus stop chicane. Does well not to collect his rival, but Kilian Vidal holds 11th position at this moment in time. 50 seconds now, the final lap of the race. Alessandro Miraglia is our race leader. Unai Cabo in second place, Maurice Striker in third. This has been the running order pretty much since the green flag wave 30 minutes ago, and Alessandro Miraglia will be desperate to carry this one over the line, Nikki.
And you know who's going to be disappointed though? Antonell. He started on pole position, he had a great first lap, and he's just dropped down the order 5 seconds off Miraglia. Who's going to be feeling quietly confident, I think.
I don't think you can ever be confident at Spa-Francorchamps with a bus stop chicane between yourself and the checkered flag. But let's have a look now as we come through Blanchimont for the final time. The flat-out run to the difficult, tricky uphill braking zone into the bus stop chicane. Regalia to the inside, covers the threat from Cabo behind Maurice Striker. Ever the hunter in the background trying to find an opportunity. But Alessandro Miraglia sees the acceleration zone, sees the checkered flag, wheels away to his fans and pit wall and takes the race victory in race 7 after so much disappointment in the Ferrari Velas Esports series. Alessandro Miraglia gets the job done in second position. Unai Cabo and Maurice Striker in third.
Oh, huge congratulations to those drivers. And without further ado, it's on to our next one, race 8 in Indianapolis.
Yep, another brand new circuit to Assetto Corsa Competizione. The Ferrari 488 Challenge Evo is the vehicle of choice for this race. And Indianapolis, Nikki, very, very different to the tracks that we've been to up to this point. And this is going to be a brand spanking new challenge once again.
Yeah, exactly. It's keeping our drivers on their toes, isn't it? And I just love this track. It kind of offers every type of corner and situation that you could hope for. Ultimately, it's going to bring some exceptional racing, which is why we are here and what we're excited for.
Yep, absolutely. Very fast, very technical, very difficult circuit. And again, one where overtaking is incredibly possible. So once again, our drivers qualifying maybe not as important as it could be. There are still opportunities.
Right, okay, so let's take a look at, we can take a closer look at the track and also a closer look at the drivers who are competing in this race. It's the top 11 who have gone through to qualify. Andrea Mattiato from Italy, Kirill Sadirov from the Russian Federation, Luca Vinoli from Italy with the top 3 qualifiers.
Yeah, so again, names there that we recognise from previous competitions, names there that are brand new to the series as we get ready to qualify. Rolling start once again, 11 cars on the grid for this one, and it is Sadirov in pole position from Andrea Miato, another name that you will very much recognise from this championship, as you will for Luca Vinoli in third place. Bruno Rodriguez rounds out the second row of the grid from Francesco Ceridi in position 5, Thijs Payne in position 6, in 7th place is Jasper Flecken, in 8th is Miska Suminen, in 9th Giles Watkins, and 10th Fernando Rizicano. 11th and last on the grid is Dubrovic Gasparlin. I think I pronounced that right, Nikki?
You get all the awards, I think, for getting through those names today.
The sympathy award being the number one, I'm sure.
Well done, yeah. It's just, we're going to get hate mail in the post because we pronounced them all wrong.
It's become my stock in trade, so people come to expect my pronunciation is horrendous. But back to the action. Again, rolling start this time. It is 4 p.m. in-game and a little bit overcast, so it's going to be difficult for these drivers, I think, isn't it, to judge the grip in the first few laps.
Yeah, you don't want to be starting with super cold tyres, and unfortunately that is what is in store for these guys. So fingers crossed we get a nice clean first lap. We don't want anyone being taken out from the get-go, but yeah, only time will tell.
And Indianapolis, this corner here, the final corner onto the oval banking, and the run down the start-finish straight is going to be critical for overtaking opportunities. Zadyov on pole position from Miato in second place. Car number 8 is our pole man. Car number 4 is his front row starter. The green flags wave. The race begins, and now it is the power, the charge down into the difficult right-hander of T1. Sadeirov, good start for him, but further down Miato really struggling, starting to get swallowed up by the field. A little bit of contact further down the running order as well, but everybody keeps it on the grey stuff and away from the runoff, the gravel trap and the grass. So a nice neat first couple of corners, but there we see that is the number 8 machine. So Sadeirov under pressure, Miato it was in fact, that got the good start, and Vanoli in the 11, the bright yellow car of Luca Vanoli is on his tippy toes and is bringing Rodriguez with him.
Oh, I mean, that was a phenomenal start. Kirill Sadyarov, I mean, he was about 4 car lengths ahead by the first corner. That was a phenomenal start for him. Matteo Vanoli, I think these two, this is where the battle is.
Yep, absolutely. So Matteo making a run for it in these early stages of the race. But Vanoli, Luca Vanoli, again, a driver, plenty of experience in the Ferrari Velas Esports series. But does he have the pace where it matters in this race? He qualified down in 3rd position, 3.5 tenths of a second away from our pole sitter that is just ahead of him now in 2nd place. So Bruno Rodriguez, the next man up the road. This is an opportunity for Rodriguez, isn't it? While these two squabble, find their own sort of the equilibrium, Rodriguez has himself a chance to get past.
Definitely. Stay out of trouble, and as they're distracted, come on the inside and move up into 3rd, because again, reminder, it's only the top 3 positions that will go through to the regional finals. This is what these guys have been practicing for. This is what they want to achieve today.
Yeah, there's a little bit of fisticuffs further down the running order. That's the 89 and 61 getting a little bit too close for comfort. Miska would be the one that was the transgressor in that moment, but both cars just about survived. There we go. We'll have another look now. The 61 again trying to find his way around the outside of that Ferrari. And it's so difficult to pass in this particular section of the car course. What you need to do is pick the slipstream up now, get a good draft up on your rival, and hope to launch an attack down into T1. But while these two are squabbling away, Watkins gets himself very, very squirrely under the brakes as well. So the battle's all the way through the top 10.
Yeah, but there is still plenty to play for. 26.5 minutes to go until the end of this race, where the podium will be decided. And it's now Matteo 1 second ahead of Sadyarov.
Yeah, so Matteo starting to lose a little bit of ground as we enter the 3rd lap of the race. And Sadyarov still not giving up yet, but once again Miska Sinnerman trying to find a way past. Leaves the car kind of loosely hanging. That's a bit of a poor move, really. Leaves the car loosely hanging on the apex, and the inevitable contact is made. So Sinnerman just about gets away with that one. Not really held up too much, but 8th position, 9th position, they're both the same. Neither gets you a qualifying spot. Ooh.
Whoops. That was a bit aggressive.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be overly happy if I was the 31 on that one. A little bit late on the brakes, I'm afraid. But it's inevitable, isn't it, on this kind of course? When you're coming from such high speed to such a big braking point, it's so easy to make a mistake and run deep and make contact.
Yeah, it was Tice Payne who paid the price there for that one. He's now down in P5, 16-point gap between him and Soretti there in P4.
Yep, so the fight, the charge really made down to the final portion of this race is, can Miato hold on to that race lead? Can Sadorov find some lap time that we saw in qualification? And does Luca Vanoli have enough to bring it home on the bottom step of the podium? Kind of separated at the front of the field, but still plenty of drama further down the running order.
Yeah, exactly. But, you know, we're getting towards the business end of the race. Only 10 minutes left to go. So if Serretti wants to come and compete with the top guys, he's going to have to really start closing that gap. 8-second gap at the moment.
Yeah, and the Indianapolis road course is quite a hard track on tyre wear as well, so that will start playing into effect with these drivers as the race unfolds. So everybody's sort of finding the balance of the car as the race progresses. 5 minutes left on the clock, but I do think that Miato at the front of the field has this one covered now.
Yeah, absolutely. He did really well to move up from P2 at the start of this race, despite Sadyrov's phenomenal start. Matteo has just got the better of him over the course of the last 35 minutes. So with just 4 minutes still to go, it's looking like we have our top 3 finishers. However, the race is not over until the checkered flag.
Yeah, absolutely. There's always an opportunity. One small mistake on this track or any track realistically, and it could all change in a heartbeat. We're riding on board now with the number 61 in 6th position. That is Payne that you can see just ahead as we come down into the braking zone now. Look how squirrely the car ahead is on the brakes. It's not comfortable on these tyres at this stage in the motor race, and I think Payne now is trying to push the car as hard as he can within the limits that's available to him, but this will give the 61 some heart that his car is much more comfortable at this stage in the race. Let's extrapolate those problems to the rest of the field, Nikki, and you could very well have a few people that are just hanging on to the very death.
Yeah, and this is when it really counts, isn't it? You know, we talk about not cracking under pressure. This is what practice brings you in the esports world. Being put in this moment in a final where everything counts, it's just about staying cool and calm and not making a mistake.
Yeah, that's it. Often people think motor racing is about going as fast as you possibly can, but actually it's those who make the least mistakes between green and checker are often the ones that finish high up the running order, and that is, again, you need a fair lick of pace, but you need to minimise mistakes, minimise issues, and just bring the car to the checkered flag, which is what our top 3 drivers are doing very well indeed. 13-second gap now to 4th place.
Yeah, the opportunity to wear the prancing horse with pride. Of course, joining the Scuderia Ferrari Esports drivers coming over. I mean, what an incredible prize. What an opportunity. Well, life-changing opportunity, to be honest.
Yeah, it really is, but there's a lot of work to go between now and then. Even when you qualify from these races, we've still got the regional finals and the grand final itself to go. So plenty of racing to do, but Andrea Miato is doing everything within his opportunity to do so by getting ready to take, should I say, what looks like a very dominant victory.
Yeah, huge. Well, I'm not going to say congratulations yet. I don't want to do the commentator's curse at this late stage in the game. So I'll wait before congratulating them. But yeah, for everyone watching as well, just a reminder to do follow Ferrari on all our social channels, because there's plenty more news coming your way. 13th of September is when these guys are going to be going head-to-head in the regional finals.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to that one. But Andrea Miato just about to secure his ticket to that regional final as we come through the final 2 corners. One last acceleration zone onto the famous banked here at the Indianapolis road course. He'll cross the yard of bricks in a few moments' time, goes to take the checkered flag. Andrea Miato takes the race victory here at Indianapolis. Sadorov in 2nd place, and Luca Vanoli seals the deal in position 3. And that is our final qualification race, Nikki, of the day, and it was quite dramatic.
It was indeed. Huge congratulations to those top 3 drivers coming through to the regional finals.
Yep, superb stuff from everybody there. Great driving from all of our drivers, and that is now 12 more drivers qualified for the Ferrari Velas Esports Series regional finals. Dario Mula is the first of our qualified drivers, from Dominic Ullman and Eureka Slavanak from Barcelona. In the circuit of the Americas is Hugo Merles, Federico Pedrini and Philippe Slazak who qualify from that race in race 7, Spa-Francorchamps. Alessandro Miragalia in first, Une Cabo is second, and Maurice Stryker the third and final qualifier from Spa-Francorchamps. And the race that we've just seen at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, it is Andrea Miato is our race winner and qualifier, Kirill Sadriov in second position, and Luca Vanola the third and final qualifier for the regional finals.
Wow, we promised you action, and boy did those races deliver. Huge congratulations to those 12 drivers who are going through to the regional finals. But guys, what did you make of the racing?
Yeah, I mean, we had some incredible racing, Maya, and not just the people at the front of the field, but also those that failed to qualify. It's an interesting experience for them, isn't it? What do they need to do to move up?
Yeah, never give up, of course, that's the main thing. Keep training and keep improving. The more laps you do on the sim, the better you get. So they'll be there next time for sure.
And it's interesting, Nikki and Maya, that when you race against others and those that are maybe a little bit faster than you or got the brakes in the events, that helps you accelerate your development as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Having a fast teammate or someone who you can look up to and see where they brake, see where you can improve, it helps you a lot to improve faster and yeah, get to that level.
Absolutely. And obviously our qualified drivers have now made it through to the regional finals. Is there anything that you can offer them advice-wise going in to those regional finals to get them through to the next stage of the comp?
Yeah, just keep focused. Don't crack under pressure, because I guess they have a lot of pressure on them. But yeah, just keep focused. They know what they have to do, and yeah, give everything you have.
Brilliant. And Nikki, the winning is not over yet because we've got something else to give away.
Exactly. It's not just the guys that have been competing today. It's anyone that has entered the competition. Paul, can you reveal what the prizes are?
I can indeed. It is a replica Ferrari Scuderia jacket, shirt and cap that we're giving away, as you can see on the screen behind me.
Very smart indeed. So you can join us and wear the uniform, but only a much better version. Well, now we are going to reveal who that winner is, and it is Amina El Alchak. So congratulations to Amina.
Superb. Congratulations to Amina. Brilliant stuff. That'll be coming your way very soon indeed.
It will indeed. Now, this is a date for your diary. Do make sure you join us next time for the very first regional final, 13th of September. We absolutely cannot wait to see those finalists battle it out head to head. But because this is the first time we have the regional finals, let's take a look at how the format is going to run.
The Ferrari Velas Esports Series regional finals will be held across a brand new format. Two races will take place on both simulations with two different types of cars and tracks. In Europe, the first race will be held on Assetto Corsa at Silverstone with the Ferrari 488 GT3 Evo. The second race will be held on the Assetto Corsa Competizione platform at the Imola circuit with the Ferrari 488 Challenge Evo. The drivers will earn points for each race, and only the top three will proceed to the grand final in Italy.
Well, that is an awesome format. Cannot wait to see how it challenges the drivers next time out. Now, this is your reminder. We are not going anywhere between now and the 13th of September. You can stay involved with all the news, all the conversation by following us on social media. Paul, what channels are we on?
Every single one. No, basically, you can catch us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, TikTok. If there's a social media platform, we'll be there. So make sure you do follow us for all the news, excitement and drama of the series and the team.
But before we say our final farewell, a quick reminder that in just a couple of hours' time, we're going to be kicking off with the North America Ferrari Velas Esports series. So don't go anywhere because the action promises to be spectacular. And we have a little surprise, actually, to get us even more excited. Please welcome the host of the show, Amanda Busick. Amanda, come and join us. It's good to be able to
Nikki,
share
great
the
to see
stage
you.
with you. How are you?
Good, and I know what you guys are thinking. The American is here now, but you guys are in your third season. I know we're in our inaugural season, but our drivers have to be impressing you guys.
We've absolutely loved watching it so far, but tell the audience, what have we got to expect today?
Oh, tonight we're going to have some shots of brand new tracks to the simulation, as well as some of the American greats, Indianapolis Motor Speedway, Circuit of the Americas. But what I'm most excited about is the growth of confidence that I've seen in our drivers so far.
Wow. Okay. Well, we cannot wait. So don't go anywhere. Make sure you tune into Amanda's show, which is kicking off in just a few hours. So that leaves us just to say a big farewell from everyone here at Ferrari, from Mayor, Paul and Amanda, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.